I'm trying to think, don't confuse me with facts. Madness is a divine release of the soul from the yoke of custom and convention. A man is not learned until he can read, write, and swim. The most important stage of any enterprise is the beginning. Virtue is voluntary, vice involuntary. No intelligent man will ever be so bold as to put into language those things which his reason has contemplated. The blame is his who chooses, God is blameless. If you are wise, all men will be your friends and kindred, for you will be useful. As the builders say, the larger stones do not lie well without the lesser. The soul of man is immortal and imperishable. Democracy passes into despotism. Music then is simply the result of the effects of love on rhythm and harmony. A drunkard is unprofitable for any kind of good service. The good is the beautiful. Man was not made for himself alone. God is not the author of all things, but of good only. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. Courage is a kind of salvation. Music gives a soul to the universe. Truth is its own reward. Each citizen should play his part in the community according to his individual gifts. No one ever teaches well who wants to teach, or governs well who wants to govern. Love is a grave mental illness. The beginning is the most important part, for that is the time character is being formed. To go to the world below, having a soul which is like a vessel full of injustice, is the last and worst of all the evils. We obtain better knowledge of a person during 1 hour's play in games than by conversing with him for a whole year. Love is a madness produced by an unsatisfiable rational desire to understand the ultimate truth about the world. You cannot go into the same water twice. The productions of all arts are kinds of poetry, and their craftsmen are all poets. The direction in which education starts a man will determine his future life. One man cannot practice many arts with success. To do injustice is the greatest of all evils. Numbers are the highest degree of knowledge. It is knowledge itself. He whom love touches not walks in darkness. Not to help justice in her need would be an impiety. When you admonish a wrongdoer, do so gently, that it may not lead to hostility. Anything worth knowing is already known and must be remembered and reclaimed by the soul. Music gives wings to the mind and flight to the imagination. The most beautiful motion is that which accomplishes the greatest results with the least amount of effort. The unexamined life is not worth living for a human being. The proud man is forsaken of God. No evil can happen to a good man either in life or after death. There is no harm in repeating a good thing. There is truth in wine and children. When a man drinks wine at dinner, he begins to be better pleased with himself. Kindness which is bestowed on the good is never lost. Even the gods love jokes. Not by force shall the children learn, but through play. The most virtuous are those who content themselves with being virtuous without seeking to appear so. Pleasure is the bait of sin. My plainness of speech makes people hate me, and what is their hatred but a proof that I am speaking the truth? Hardly any human being is capable of pursuing two professions or two arts rightly. Thinking, the talking of the soul with itself. The man who hath music in his soul will be most in love with the loveliest. Education and admonition commence in the first years of childhood, and last to the very end of life. We do not learn, and what we call learning is only a process of recollection. No one is a friend to his friend who does not love in return. Honesty is for the most part less profitable than dishonesty. The greater part of instruction is being reminded of things you already know. All the gold which is under or upon the earth is not enough to give in exchange for virtue. The tyranny imposed on the soul by anger, or fear, or lust, or pain, or envy, or desire, I generally call injustice. Love is an intermediate state between possession and deprivation. The eyes of the soul of the multitudes are unable to endure the vision of the divine. No human thing is of serious importance. Knowledge is true opinion. As there are misanthropists or haters of men, so also are there misologists, or haters of ideas. And we have made of ourselves living cesspools, and driven doctors to invent names for our diseases. When there is crime in society, there is no justice. Astronomy compels the soul to look upwards and leads us from this world to another. Trees and fields tell me nothing, men are my teachers. The wisest have the most authority. Geometry existed before creation. Let nobody speak mischief of anybody. Be kind, for everyone is having a hard battle. An hour of play is worth a lifetime of conversation. The highest reach of injustice is to be deemed just when you are not. Please watch these wise videos.